Yeah, Chan man. I don't know. Do you actually do anything?
Those 40 olds give me a lot, or owe me a lot of money.
Well, I mean,
All right,
you're
let's
off the
go.
fucking Reddit teat, like so.
Exactly.
There's that. But yeah, dude. Like seriously, I just hate it, man. Because it's like I know everyone was super psyched about this kid doing well, and I hope he does. You're absolutely right. I think he will go on to better things, in this dead game.
All right, League of Legends talk. XJ9. Oh, look at
Oh,
Nathanias.
Chris,
XJ9.
can you
You'll
just
love this, man. You'll love it.
can you read the Urban Dictionary? Like I wanted to
Oh God.
research this whole. Please just do it,
Well,
dude.
let's
I
explain. Let's explain at least to the folks that don't know who
Yeah, yeah,
XJ9
but
is,
just
especially
read.
Nathanias. He doesn't even know who XJ9 is.
No, he's some jungler dude. I've seen his stream before.
No, no, but do you know how he's related to Steven? Like in his stream and all that good stuff? No?
No, I don't know if they slept together or whatever.
You want to explain, Steven, while I look this up? What's this urban?
I don't know how it would take hours to properly
Oh, come on.
explain.
He's like a young version of Steven, basically.
I was never quite that extreme. Basically, XJ9 is insane.
Insane. Alright, so I have this urban dictionary up, XJ9.
Right, this
The
is what I did. I
scum
was
of
trying
the
to.
internet? What?
Yeah, I was trying to research.
Wow.
Let me tell
A
you.
bit about
Okay, here, how about
XJ9.
this? I'll tell you some of his past exploits. Okay, so he had an online girlfriend who,
Oh, I
Yeah,
remember this. Oh my
yeah,
was
this
it?
was the gem. The gem girl is the
Yeah.
first one. Well, not the first one, but one of many, I guess. An online girlfriend named Gem, and at some point, Gem played games with somebody that he didn't approve of because she didn't want to talk to him anymore. So he logged onto her account. He threw like 50 ranked games. He got rid of like all of her skins. He traded them away, whatever. Did all these horrible things, and basically all that shit. And he got like perm banned, I think, forever from Link for doing it. And his excuse was, I knew that Riot, I knew that the support could like return everything back to her account, and I wanted her to talk to me. That was his rationalization for everything. That's just one of many incidents. Another incident is he had a girlfriend, online girlfriend again, who was also not happy with him and didn't want to talk with him much, and she was playing games on her account as Lee Sin, and XJ9 hates the champion Lee Sin. And because she was playing games as Lee Sin, he decided to post the nude pictures that she'd sent him all over his Facebook, and all sorts of other random shit, like tweeting at her like nonstop. He called this chick like literally like 200, 300 times in a day, right? Like dozens of times, like every 10 minutes, like absolutely ridiculous. Um, yeah, and then like his entire, and so it got to the point. The reason why people associate him with me a little bit sometimes is that I talked to XJ9 at this night because this girl messaged me and she was like, "Hey, can you talk to this kid? Because he really looks up to you and he's like fucking crazy and I don't know what the fuck to say to him." So I started talking to him and we ended up having like this 6 hour
It
conversation on
was a
stream
long conversation.
about like how he rationalizes and justifies everything he does and how he's without fault. And it eventually came down to him being like, "Did you ever watch any of the Elliot Rodger videos?"
No.
They passed me by,
He's
bro.
he's very similar to that. He's like the super sociopathic, zero empathy, high functioning Aspie, with like this insane like narcissistic complex where like he's the perfect person. Society is wrong. The reason why he didn't like her talking to anyone else is because she was going to be societized. Everybody is out to like destroy everybody else. He's the only good person. He doesn't understand like how any of the things that he does can hurt other people. Like every time I'd ask him like, "How do you think she felt like when you leaked her nude pictures?" And he was like, "Well, she would never talk to me. Like I had to get her attention somehow. Like it was the only way I could get her talking." Like that kind of stuff, like over and over again. He's just like an absolute fucking basket case. There's like whole smorgasbord of like mental fuck ups, and he's an interesting person to talk to.
So the reason we're talking about him is because he's now coaching for
He is now coaching
for a League of
a
Legends
team
team.
who is heavily
Wow.
associated, who was brought on by the only other crazy person that I know in esports, Last Shadow. Like I read the tweet and it was like the most perfect unison of two things I've ever seen in my entire life. Like Last Shadow recruiting extra. Like that's some shit that you would read like in the Esports Express stuff. Or like the whatever the Hotbit or the Team Liquid
Right?
spoof thing. Like there's just I can't even believe it. I don't even know what to say. Like Last Shadow has also been involved in some pretty hilarious online shenanigans. I remember reading some of his older posts about how like he was a kung fu master and how if anybody looked at a girl of his, he would use his jujitsu moves and black belt moves to like beat the shit out of him and take him out. He recently did a donation to get surgery for eye stuff or whatever. There's just like there's so much crazy, weird, random shit. He's a very awkward, offbeat kind of person. I don't know, man. So just like seeing those two people now working together in League of Legends, That's very funny to me. There you go. That's all I got.
I just
Well,
remember seeing some hilarious shit show on Twitter where he was going back and forth about something with Heroes of the Storm and Idra or whatever. He was like, "I'm gonna be the #1 ranked Heroes of the Storm player," and then he
Wait.
realized that the game was pretty boring and he like quit really fast or something.
Who?
Last Shadow.
Oh,
There was like
Shadow.
this.
Oh.
Wasn't there like a huge? I just remember like laughing really hard at it. That's all.
I mean, like what I can't understand though is right. Okay, like, right. So the team he's coaching is Super Hot Crew.
Yeah.
Okay, which we've already established in previous shows have the worst fucking name ever. We don't need to go over that old ground. It's very hard to concentrate with Nathan's face. It's just such a wonderful thing.
You're talking about League of Legends, yes.
Yeah, I know. I sorry, dude. Like we once again we threw you under a bus.
Silver
but,
5. That's all I got. That's all I got.
Fuck, man. Fuck it. It's at least you ain't bronze, bro. But yeah, so like I don't get how like a team that's run by Ace are the principal sponsors. They keep their name off it for reasons I don't quite understand, because I think even Team Acer is better than fucking Super Hot Crew. But I don't know why they would pick somebody up with this reputation, because this might fly in like other gaming scenes. Like I think StarCraft are actually quite a forgiving bunch, all said and told. I don't think we look to scandalize our personalities quite so much. Sorry, go on.
I received a message from somebody that works with the Team Acer team, and to quote them, I won't say who it is particularly, but to quote them, they said the management don't know his history. I just wanted to let you know that we're in the process of
makes
going
sense.
over.
But that, of course, it does lead to the next question: why the fuck don't you know that? You know, if you're bringing people in,
Well, it could be that Last Shadow. I think he got recommended by Last Shadow, so they probably just assumed that Last Shadow's a current coach. I don't even know how that's possible, but they just let him recommend him, and so they figure, why would our coach recommend somebody that's fucking, you know?
So what's going to happen here is, if it hasn't already, and I haven't checked Reddit much today except to pick up the, hey, Richard, let's use you as a puppet to ask our questions on Unfiltered messages. But I'm pretty confident that the mods won't be able to enforce the witch hunting rule 24/7 and delete the threads that are inevitable to come up, which are going to be, he posted nudes of a girl. Like, I can't understand. Like, Riot ain't going to dig this at all, having him associated with it. I mean, it's SK Gaming's dirty little secret, that they've got, Incarnation, coaching them. And he's perm banned from the game.
Yeah, Riot hates him, right? Like, he's perm banned, and there have been, like, personal responses from, like, the mod saying that he will never be unbanned.
Yeah.
Like, he's tried to ban evade more than any other player in the history of all mankind. Like, he would stream, like, on these off-streaming sites, like, on the Taiwanese server using proxies and shit, and he would still get fucking banned and shit. So...
Is XJ9 even qualified? I mean, is he that good enough in the game to coach?
This is the really painful thing.
He used to take money for coaching low-level players. He used to take money for coaching, like $5 an hour to coaching low-level players. He can obviously play the game to a reasonable standard. I don't know if it's good.
Well, no. Wait. I have to chime in here, because this is the saddest part of the whole story, is that XJ9 was arguably the best non-professional jungle player in all of North America.
Really? Wow. Okay.
Yes, he was very fucking good. Much that there were. I don't remember specific names, fuck me, but there were literally LCS players who said that there were a couple things that they picked up from the way that XJ9 played. XJ9 was a very fucking good jungler. Like I said, inarguably top 3 of like all fucking NA solo queue junglers, arguably the best solo queue jungler. He was very fucking good at the game, which is something that makes this a little bit tragic. If he was just like a mediocre player or whatever, I don't think anybody would be talking about him. Nobody would know about him. Nobody would care that he got banned or whatever. It was just some funny number. But he was very fucking good at jungling. Very fucking good. Yeah, Meteos or whatever. It's one of the guys that's picked up a lot of.
But again, I'm also reliably informed that one of the reasons why this won't get talked about on Reddit, and I find this interesting, is that someone's just messaged me to say it's an automatic ban on the League of Legends subreddit. If you put XJ9 in your post or anything, the post just gets deleted.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, it's like it's a banned phrase, XJ9. And this is what I mean. I mean, look, on the one hand, I definitely believe in second chances. And I think people can act like douchebags and do dumb things, and that's no reason to kill an entire career because you're gonna do something stupid at some point. I don't think necessarily your entire future should be dictated by one mistake just because we exist in an internet industry and nothing's ever deleted. But equally, the product that Riot have created, there's no way on God's earth that XJ9 is compatible with what they want to project. And I can't see them allowing him to. I think they will have words with Superhot Crew when this gets back to them, which it almost certainly will have done already. Riot have their spies everywhere. So I think they'll have words with the organization. I think the organization, for fear of incurring Riot's wrath, will want to get rid of him. There's no way this position is going to last in an official capacity, whether it happens unofficially because he gets on with the players and, you know, he actually is bringing something to the table. But it's like I was saying earlier, you know, SK Gaming had to hide Incarnation. They had to, you know, to completely disassociate themselves. You know, even to the point where I've been like, look, we know he's coaching you. You know, can I do an interview with him? I'd like to write an article about it. SK Gaming are like, no, we don't want that out in the public domain. We don't want to be, you know, traceably associated. When I've interviewed SK Gaming players at events on camera, and I've said, can we talk about Incarnation and what he brings to the table coaching? They're like, anything but that, dude. Any question but that. And that's how they've got around it. And the fucked up thing is Incarnation really is a talent. Super amazing, but because he got accused of DDoSing, which funnily enough, Riot actually produced no credible evidence for. He appealed, and he said, can you prove that I DDoSed it? And they said, well, obviously we can't for security reasons. We're never going to go public with it. But there was never any public evidence. They never even showed him any evidence for the ban. They just said, but they had this one little screenshot of him threatening to do it, and that was apparently what they went on. But this is a little bit different. Like, all of XJ9 shit is out in the public domain, and I just don't think it's gonna fly with
there's
Riot
another
or with the
problem.
gaming organization.
Another problem is that this wasn't just one little mistake. XJ9, like I said, I gave you two stories. XJ9 has a history of stuff like this. He's posted really crazy, fucked up shit on his Facebook wall. He constantly makes Smurf accounts to go on the League of Legends forums and the League of Legends subreddit to constantly defend his actions. That's the biggest thing that kills him. Is the absolute and total lack of remorse for all of his stuff. Like, he's never said that, like, he feels sorry or bad about anything. He felt completely justified in, like, every single thing that he did. Like, that's probably what kills him more than any other particular thing, you know?
Yeah, so I gotta fucking say, I don't really know where this ends. I mean, my gut feeling is this dude's getting dropped. I think, you know, Team Acer, like, okay, so what I heard was Team Acer weren't happy that it was even leaked into the public domain in the first place, and I think they're gonna have to act. I think this is gonna be what we would call in the trade a temporary appointment. I honestly can't see how this can go on. And whether it's a shame or not, that's not for, you know, I have no strong feelings about it. Guy sounds like a retard, if I'm frank. But I don't know enough about him to maybe pass that judgment. I should probably educate myself a little bit more than some secondhand stories. But yeah, sounds like, you know, on the surface of it, sounds like a retard and sounds like someone that isn't going to be allowed to apply any form of trade related to League of Legends. Not the way Riot control their narrative, control their product, and not the way organizations are so reliant on LCS that they're going to do anything Riot say to fall in line to keep that money coming. So I think this is going to be one of those here today, gone tomorrow stories. Hey,
apparently Avila responded to you on Twitter, ChanManV.
Yes, I saw that.
I was going to bring that up once we got out of the boring league section and saying we should really have him on, dude.
So, there's a lot of people telling me not to have him on.
No, but listen, here's the thing, right? Like, this is fucking unfiltered.
This is unfiltered. Fucking
when have
unfiltered.
when have we ever talked about someone
How
on
many
air
careers?
and not allowed them the right to reply?
Right,
we've got a moral obligation.
How many careers have we destroyed
Let's
on
keep
this
going
show?
through this league. Gambit,
Yeah.
and then
We're done. No one gives a fuck
discuss.
about Gambit. Oh my god.
Some people
Thank
care about
you.
Gambit.
Thank you.
God,
Nobody gives two blind
Richard gives a
monkeys
fuck about
taxes.
Gambit. Gambit, Richard.
Yeah.
Gambit.
How much are they paying you to talk about this shit?
Man, I wish Riot would pay. Riot wouldn't fucking send me a fucking virus, dude. They fucking hate me. Like, there's no chance. Look, let's not talk about it too much. I agree. I think it's probably been done to death. It was a pretty big story. I think if you care about League, you already know. Gambit Gaming are dropping two of their stars to try out some relatively low-key unknown players. The two stars are Darian and Diamond Prox. Darian is, he was a very good top laner, no doubt about it. Was an integral part of, the Moscow 5 era, Empire before it, I think, as well, if my memory serves correctly. But mainly was kind of known for being stoned, which I don't know if there's any substance to that or not, but certainly there's a lot of memes that, say he
There
likes
was
to
some
play
substance.
420. Yeah, that was, hey, fuck this. I set him up, you knock him down. Let's get our trilbies on. But Diamond Prox is an absolute legend. I mean, like, even the Asian players cite him as a huge influence. He was very important in developing the game, and he still was pioneering even recently. I mean, people play the sort of AD build, the AD hybrid build Eve. That was because of him. He busted that out in solo queue and then started playing it in fucking competitive games. So even up until recently, he was still pioneering and innovating ways to jungle. So he's an amazing player with a very prestigious history. To see him benched is incredible. But Gambit Gaming have found themselves in this position where they're fighting for their lives. This should have been a season where, okay, we've replaced Alex Ich, we've brought in a new, relatively little known mid laner to replace him, but we still got a shot of Worlds. Instead, they're fighting for survival in the league, and they're having to drop kind of the old guard in a desperate bid to stay in the league. I've got to say, perhaps Diamond and Darian are still in the team if Riot hadn't fucked them over the visas thing by making them play with 4 stand-ins at Wembley. And I think nobody's actually commented on that once again we see Riot make a mistake, and all the pathetic apologies in the world aren't necessarily going to bring back Darian's and Diamond's career. I mean, this really could be it for them. If these two new guys who come in, you've got Lulex, I think it's pronounced in the jungle, and Kubon in the top lane, a guy who I met at DreamHack. He was playing for Reason Gaming there and didn't do too well in the final against Alex Ich, who moved to top lane. But anyway, I think, if these guys never get back into a top lineup, who's to say that if they'd gone with that lineup to Wembley, because they always play better on stage, they always play better where there's a crowd, they always play better under pressure, who's to say that they wouldn't still have a career? I think that's a very important thing to be mindful of. But certainly for Gambit fans, I mean, again, I got to break the story because I'm just fucking super awesome like that. And I think it came as a shock to a lot of people. It is the end of an era. I think if you're a Gambit fan, everyone will be very sad. But the main thing is that they do what they have to do to keep their spot in the league, because they've got to think about the organization and not individual reputations. So there you go. It's all out there now, guys. We're the league. So, we can cleanse ourselves.
Kim Kardashian has like a new puppy or some shit too, right? It's like in the same field of what this bullshit is about?
Whoa!
Right? Wow, Nate.
Well, dude,
wow.
I hope you never change game, bro.
Wow.
Because you just gone.
The salt is real. No.
Look, just because you're fucking Silver 5, I'd hate League if I was Silver 5. Christ, I'm in fucking gold and I hate playing the game. It's a fucking horrible experience. Silver 5's worse than anything in bronze. Like, at least in high bronze, it's like Bane when he gives that speech about the light, like, fucking, at least you've got something to climb to when you're bronze 1. When you're Silver 5 and your MMR's so fucked, you're playing with the same bronze scrubs that you thought you'd escaped from. Like, fuck your life anyway, right? Like, so yeah, no, I'd be salty as fuck, dude. I do pity your existence in a lot of ways. But no, you're right. I mean, look, I don't like to talk about League on what people still associate as a StarCraft show, but ChanMan pays me $50 to do it, so that's what I do.
I was actually paid $50 to actually go against the subliminal acceptance of Riot, infiltration into the media content that we produce here. I'm getting my check from Chris for creating a little bit of diversity in the show today. Once we're done,
more dirty secrets.
Well, dude, right now, man, I've seen how the Hearthstone community are all over you, Chris. You need us. You need us to stand shoulder to shoulder with you right now.
All right, so we don't have any questions actually today because
I don't think anyone made a thread.
Whoa! What the fuck is a pillow?
Yeah, so
Attila's not on my Skype, dude.
So I didn't.
He fucking tweeted at you. Tweet back at him. What the fuck?
I did tweet back at him. He hasn't tweeted anything back to me.
Oh my god. Well, okay, here actually. So while we're waiting for Bill to tweet back, guys, I heard this really cool website, destiny.gg/I. will take you right to my tournament page. It's a work in progress. If you go there, you can click the button, and it will take you to the Indiegogo. Everybody in here donated 25 cents. I don't know if that's enough, actually,
Oh my
but
gosh! All right, are we finally promoting your thing now?
Blizzard literally just
With
announced that Wings of Liberty and Heart of the Swarm are $19.99 permanently. That's some
yeah, too bad it's
fucking
been
news.
away for like.
Talk about something fucking interesting.
How about
this
the
is
arcade's fucking free? How about that?
Yeah,
guys?
yeah.
How about that?
But now the people that aren't capable of downloading, or like looking at the part that says free and installing it, the people that have to go and I don't know, that need to be spoon fed. Now they know it only costs them $40 to get in. Just slightly better than it was before.
How about, rather than talk about that, Nathan, and again, don't get me wrong, I think that'd be super cool to talk about. Or we could talk about that Kim Kardashian thing or whatever. What we could do is, why don't we kill two birds with one stone? Because I know Steven's got to get to bed or stream or whatever he does at night. And why don't we bring on a Villo to talk about Steven's event?
Oh shit!
I heard, I heard that's actually it now. Instead of sponsoring $1,000 to the prize pool, I'm going to pay to have Avilo on as a third commentator for every single day of your tournament.
Dude, do you know what? Like, I might
that'll cover the $100.
Serious. There's a serious tournament. There's a serious tournament.
Yeah,
I reckon he'd give it his.
paid.
I think he'd give it his all, dude. I think you've got to give him a chance. Do you remember what it was like for you, Steven, when you were all washed up and you wanted a chance of being a caster? People reached out to you, dude, and they said, "Wow, Destiny's the crazy guy, the crazy racist guy. Let's give him a chance." And they gave you that chance, and you ran with it.
What are we going to talk about with it, Villa?
I don't know.
I don't know. It's fucking the people want it, Chim. That's what the people want.
Oh, there's people that don't want it. Believe me, there are people.
Okay. You know what? Here, we're gonna do a poll in chat. I'm gonna say at least 85%.
Okay, we'll do a straw.
If I'm right, then we'll try to get them on.
If we do a straw poll and those guys want to see it, then I'll
Okay.
I'll be
my guess. My honest guess is gonna be closer to 93%.
Link me the straw. Link me the straw poll.
I'm guessing 93%.
Poll.
I posted in chat. There it goes. I'm saying 93% are gonna say yes. Okay.
All right, let's see this. Where's the link it to me? I can't even see with all this shit.
Someone just said, okay, I like that guy who typed maximal over cringe. that should be the name. That should be the name of our new show.
Oh my god! Look at the percentage. This is awesome.
I'm on this over cringe. Maximal over cringe. I'm voting yes. Dude, this is serious. This is real. People are messaging me saying this is a troll, right? This isn't really gonna happen, but it looks like it is gonna happen.
You know what? This is like that part in Batman where they're like, "Hey, we should bring in someone to help us smuggle all this money," and then he just fucks everybody over. I'm warning you.
Yeah, I know this could end badly.
That's what I mean, guys.
When you bring in the clowns, suddenly everything starts to burn. Just saying.
Wow. Apparently, there's more Villo haters in here than I thought, but it's still an overwhelming majority. ChanMan, they want a Villo.
Do it, dude. It's time. It's time. Maybe we can get TB on at the same time, and he can
that will definitely not.
Yeah, we get TB on to give him a feedback on why.
Are we liable for the effects of the stress that having a Villo in a call with him would do to him? I don't know.
Well, yeah, true. Actually, we have got to think about.
It's cancer, not a heart condition. It's not like
I'm not
Can we please be respectful?
No, I'm just talking about stress in general. Jesus, why do you have to bring that shit into this, Steven? Holy shit.
Boy.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I just didn't want to ruin the big guy's day, that's all.
Well, if John's still watching, which he probably isn't.
John's going to shut off the stream the moment
yeah,
Villa gets on this
but
thing.
if he is, I would like, as official new co-host...
Whoa. All right.
Right, we can drop that bomb.
Drop that bomb. Okay.
All right, so as official new co-host and possible replacement for Destiny, I would like to extend an invitation to John to come on air while we have a Villo on air.
That will not happen.
Did a Villo message you back on Twitter?
Yes, he messaged me back.
Let's track this guy down.
Oh, shit!
Let's dox this guy.
It's happening.
Yeah, here we go.
Ready whenever, bros. Time to save esports.
Right.
Also, guys, Make sure
All
that you
right,
go to the
I'm-
Indiegogo.
I'm
Guys,
gonna
it's
limit this.
$1. If everybody here donates $1, we'll have it.
I'm
We'll
gonna
have the
limit
money
this
for the
to.
tournament.
I'm gonna limit this to 5 minutes max.
Oh, you're
Why would
plugging
you?
your
The
sh- you're
people want
plugging your
this.
sh-
Dude, it's unfiltered. You can't time limit things and call it unfiltered, dude. Come on. Haven't you been involved in enough scandals? Like,
And this is
stop this, Chris. Like, do yourself a favor. Get a Villo on. Everyone's going to be like, you know what? Maybe Chris did game Reddit and rob a bunch of people of their little esports futures.
Oh my
But
god.
at least he had a Villo on it. That's how they'll remember you. They'll put that on your tombstone when you die at the
Wait,
tender
I have
age of
wait, real
65
fast.
in
Let's
a few
take a
years.
sec. This is a semi-serious question. ChanManV, do you still do Value Town or did you quit?
I'd still do it. Okay, here's the deal. All right.
Okay.
What the fuck? Of course I still.
Because I heard somebody mention. Okay, I didn't know. I heard somebody mention it. I wasn't sure.
Of course I did Value Time. Okay, so
Okay.
I'm only doing this because TV's coming on too.
Yes.
No!
Oh my god.
Oh,
The
No.
dream. Okay, the dream.
No,
Right.
this-
I
the
would,
dream.
I would have a serious conversation
What?
with Villo. As
Yeah,
long
we
as he
can
can do it
Ripping
without like,
pepperonis, headphone users.
it just can't
John
turn into
does
like a
serious?
screaming match.
John does serious. This is going to be so good.
Okay,
I've got
okay,
an
listen.
erection,
No,
guys. I'm not even
okay,
kidding.
I'm gonna
I've got an
be.
erection.
I'm gonna be the
That's
S
it.
now.
I'm in.
Listen, okay.
Are we
time
just gonna be
Avillo was on a
referees? What the
show-
fuck? Me and Nathan are just
No,
gonna
no, no.
like.
The last time that Avillo was on a show, what happened was all 5 people on the show like fucking dived in on him. It was just a huge clusterfuck
No,
of
no,
attacking
I'm not diving
Avillo.
in on it.
I promise
Okay.
I will not
That's
say
not
a word.
if. Okay, if everybody is diving on Avillo, I will step in to defend Avillo, okay? Because we're not gonna have a circle jerk on Unfiltered, okay? We're not gonna circle jerk here. Okay, I'm just warning you. All right.
All right.
I'm ready.
You
I
promise
promise
me.
I won't even
You
speak. I just
promise
want to
me.
sit here and watch. If I can just sit here and
Because
watch
I-
for my erection,
I'm
I'm happy.
what the fuck?
It's a lot like my real
What the
sex life.
fuck?
I just,
Oh
just
my
sitting and
God.
watching.
All
with
right,
an
here we
erection.
go. The dream. Here we
This is
go.
great. This
The
is
dream
it.
is real.
Oh
Fuck.
my god. I'm so hyped. I need to pop a drink.
Oh my god, I can't believe this is actually happening.
Hey, what's up, Revolos? Here to save esports. What's up?
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Hey,
Oh
hey,
shit!
What's up? Hey,
What's up,
John.
guys?
What's
John,
up,
you there?
dude?
I can't
Yes,
speak.
yes.
No, I'm not being
I was
rude.
just trying to think how it could possibly get any more obnoxious from there, but my
Oh,
mind is in a
boy.
blank all of a sudden.
Hey, what's up, dude?
Okay, so what are we talking about? Richard,
All right,
Steven,
can
what
I-
the fuck are we talking
I-
about?
can I-
Can we start with something?
Avillo, wait, let me say Avillo and Total Biscuit just recently got into some beef on the Team Liquid forums. Can you can both of you kind of expand on that and tell us
Oh my
what happened?
God.
Team Liquid, or I'm sorry, I called you Team Liquid. Oh my god, Total Biscuit. What motivated you to post in that thread about Avillo?
Well, it was, I think, maybe the straw that broke the camel's back when it comes to him. It was during the WCS EU finals when he elected to do an audio cast, quote unquote, of the PvP that was going on at the time. And it was extremely obnoxious, to say the least. It was little more than, I wouldn't even say veiled balance whining. That would imply there was any subtlety to it. And let's be frank, this kind of stuff has been going on for a very long time with him. It would be nice to have a good discussion about balance, but unfortunately, I feel that people like Avillo that do have a platform to talk about it decide to use that platform to spew rhetoric and to spew fairly vile nonsense
So
for the
sort
most
of like
part.
you are now. So okay,
Whoa,
let's-
okay. Now, hold on.
Oh, one at a time.
Okay,
One at a
Okay,
time.
so
One
we've
at a
already
time.
got 2 cock. Good. All right, so that's
All right.
one fallacy.
All right,
Excellent.
So I want to phrase this at you, Avillo. Do you think that it's fair that people say that you more than anybody else unfairly whines about Protoss? Do you think that's a fair
no,
assessment?
let's stop that right now. I'm going to address what Total Biscuit said about, because I did do a radio satire cast, which I would liken myself in terms of a streamer to you and Richard. The way I keep it real, and there's been a year of fucking Protosses.
Hang on,
you know
you keep it real, and yet you did a radio satire cast.
Yes,
which
yes.
was the opposite of
Satire
it.
is meant to bring out the truth in things, and
Okay,
that-
what's the rest of the stream then exactly? Is that also
the
satiric?
stream is my pro stream.
Alright, well,
It's
let
for
Avillo
entertainment, just
go.
like Destiny's, just like Nathanias, just like everybody else. So before you go on judging me, let's be real here. The last year of StarCraft, we're gonna save this game right fucking now, guys. Me, Destiny, you, Total Biscuit, Nathanias, Richard, we are saving this game right now.
Hey,
For the
what about
last
me,
year,
dude?
balance has been fucking terrible in
Fuck.
this game. Would you not admit that? Let's talk about the game, StarCraft 2. Instead of our personalities, instead of going at each other, let's talk about the game right now.
So are you suggesting for
Well,
the
but we
last
brought
year
you
that
on
the
to talk-
balance? Hang on, you're suggesting for the last year that the balance of the game has been quote fucking terrible.
Yes.
when really there's actually no statistical evidence to support that outside of the last few months of Protoss winning, which I would agree, Protoss is certainly in a good position right now, very good position.
That's
But you did
exactly
just
how
state
David
the
Kim
last
picked his
fucking
stats.
year. And you have also been complaining about balance actually for several years now, I believe. You were certainly complaining an awful lot around the
stop
brutal
right there.
investor era.
First
And...
of all, stop. First of all,
No. You let him finish.
Total
Let him
Biscuit.
finish.
No. Let Avila finish. It's fine. Go.
No. First of all, let's stop this. It's not about me. It's not about you. I actually like you. I don't know if you know this, but I like you guys. You guys gotta stop this character assassination. You gotta stop this passive aggressiveness. Talk about the game. Let's not talk about each other for a moment. Now the game has declined in viewership. I don't have the stats. I'm not David Kim. I can't pretend everything is 50-50 and that is fine. We've lost a lot of viewers in this game and we want them back. All 5 or 6 of us here, we love the fucking game, right? You guys all love the game, yes?
Yes.
Sure.
Exactly.
I can take or leave it, bro, but I'm going to agree with you.
We all love this game and we want the game to do well. We all want viewers for ourselves, for everybody else. We want tournaments to have like 200,000, 300,000 viewers, but it's not going to happen unless there's more communication from Blizzard, the company that designs and balances the game, and when they're not doing their jobs as balance developers. And I joke on my stream. I do some satire. I exaggerate things. It's supposed to be funny.
Are you joking when you accuse many of your opponents of being map hackers or stream cheaters or so on and so forth?
Destiny will tell you the best. As a streamer, you know this happens a fucking lot with fucking hackers and stream cheaters. So don't sidetrack the argument. That happens a shit
I believe
ton.
you accused Polt's his alt account of being a map hacker.
Yeah, well, Polt is
So
fucking
that
good.
may have perhaps been overextending the matter just a little bit.
We're getting off track here again. So once again, and this is what StarCraft is. It's just a fucking like circle jerk personality fest, which is fine. We got to be interesting too. But the gameplay has to come first. That's the main thing. The gameplay of the game has to come first. It has to be fun. It has to not be this 200 deathball shit every game, whether it's Swarmhost or Mass Ravens. I agree that this shit it's the same it's the same thing every game. You can literally predict from the 5 minutes of the game starts to the next 15 minutes what's going to happen in a game. It's the game. The game needs help. We need to do some CPR on this shit. And people like you, Total Biscuit, you have way more pull than me. Would you agree?
Do you know how I got that pull exactly? Well, it was by.
No, I'm not measuring my dick here. I don't want to measure my dick. I don't have a
need
ruler
you
out,
to
and I'm not going to measure my dick. I'm talking about the
I don't
game.
think anyone wants that. That's okay. That's something we can definitely do.
It's too huge to measure. They have one issue.
Okay.
I think the problem.
He's up, man.
All right. So the matter at hand is the idea. So your proposal is that the reason why StarCraft 2 viewership is currently falling is due to balance concerns and the fact that Blizzard is not doing its job properly, and it is the job of all of us to encourage Blizzard to do their job properly. The way that you would do that would not be through streaming day in, day out and constantly accusing Blizzard staff, WCS players of, frankly, everything under the sun. That is not the way you do things. Right, okay. No, you've had your chance to speak, so
all right, go ahead.
Give me a sec. So, do you know how exactly I got into the position where I had that influence? Because you've just admitted I have more influence than you
again.
do.
Oh my god!
Let him finish.
What I'm doing is giving you advice, a bit of career advice. I usually charge for this, so consider yourself lucky. The reason that I got into this position was not because I sat on stream day in, day out yelling at how Blizzard was fucking terrible about absolutely everything, going on Twitter and complaining about absolutely everything, insulting players, insulting WCS staff over and over and over again, day in, day out. This doesn't actually get anything done.
I've never insulted WCS staff.
Actually, I believe you did. I think it was on the. Let's see. I'm just scrolling down your Twitter. You are very prolific when it comes to this.
Once again, if you're saying.
They got a clue and unbanned me because they realized I will burn this motherfucker down and lead the revolution. Good job, WCS EU chat. Listening to the WCS casters finalists, if anyone is seriously listening, is pretty funny. Get a clue, nobody gives a shit. Wow, these guys are really tryharding. Close the WCS stream, they are disgusting. These are all verbatim quotes from July the 6th on your Twitter feed, by the way. So I would suggest that actually you are engaging in some fairly obnoxious and quite frankly, hostile behavior when it comes to WCS staff, which, take this from experience, is not a very good way of getting them to listen to you. That's usually a good way to get yourself sidelined. It's the kind of thing that American political shock jocks do. And unfortunately, all that means is they appeal to the wingnuts. They appeal to the fringe, which is not helpful. It's not helpful in any discussion. It can poison pretty much any discussion you're involved in. And you have a platform. You could use it for good. And I think maybe your heart's in the right place, but the way that
I am using it for good, and I will continue to.
So here, can I? The one thing, because we're compared to each other more often than I'm comfortable with, Villo. But the thing, this is what I like to believe about myself, and this might just be my arrogance, but I like to believe that while I'm playing, I can say some things that are like pretty mean or whatever. But at the end of the day, like usually I might say it after a game. We'll always say like I could have did this or I could have did this better. I think people know that a lot of what I say I'm just kind of joking about, and like if you want to have like a reasoned, balanced discussion or whatever, like I do think Protoss is way too strong in discussing a lot of different ways. But I'll have that discussion with you. I'll have a reasonable discussion with you. But it seems like it's hard to tell if you believe everything that you say on stream. Like, the stuff that you say while hiding behind, like, literally 427 ravens, like, makes for, like, a really interesting kind of setup where, like, you don't know if a Villo honest-to-God believes... But I do it in a way that, like, And again, I'm being a little bit presumptuous here, but I'm pretty sure most people know that I'm joking. Like, obviously, I have a distaste for Protoss and balance of where the game is at right now, but some of the stuff you say just comes off as so extreme all the time, and like calling everyone a map hacker, saying that like everything is broken, and like you've been doing this for like a long time too. This isn't something new that you've done. Like
Yes,
this is something you've done for literally years.
Protoss has been broken for an entire year, dude. Would you agree? Like about a year? Oh, well, okay. Well, you play Zerg, so you don't. Let's maybe Nathanias can back me up here, and also once again that
it's no, this is the problem. That's the problem. What happens is you want to come here, you want to come onto the hold on, you want to come onto the show and you want to have like a super serious discussion about balance. And I think after listening to what you said for the past like 5 or 10 minutes, other people might disagree, but I think you're actually capable of having that discussion. Exactly. But I would have never ever known that listening to your stream, because everything you say on your stream is absolutely fucking ridiculous. Well, like right. Satirization only works up to a point. What?
You know what Richard said about comedy? Like, you know. Do you know what a character is?
So when exactly do you turn off your character?
So
yeah,
look.
Where?
That's part of my stream. That's my personal entertainment. We all are individuals. We have
that's
our
your
own way
Twitter
of going
feed as
about
well,
that.
though.
But once again, we're getting off the topic
and your Reddit account
any posts you've ever made on Reddit or Team Liquid,
like you can't, or the Team Liquid posts, like
you can't just be a character all the time.
We're getting off the topic here, guys. The game.
I said I was going to speak.
No, we're okay.
Villo, bro, okay. I'm on your side, yeah? I want you to talk a bit more about this whole persona thing that you're talking about. I think...
well, I mean, everybody has that. I'm not saying that that's exactly me. It's perhaps an exaggerated version of me. And I try and be funny. I try and joke around. I do the same thing Dustin does. Do the same thing other streamers do. We all got to do that as streamers. Be entertaining, you know, be good at the game as well. But it's just a matter of some people take a lot of things that I say out of context, and then you know there's so much fucking toxicity, whether it's like Reddit, whether it's here, whether it's anywhere in the community. People will take stuff out of context, whether it's out of jealousy, whether it's just. And I'm not even talking about...
I gotta stop you, because what you're saying is absolutely true, but it doesn't apply to you. Nobody's taking anything you say out of context. Like, most of the representations of you in the public
plenty of people take
are pretty
stuff
fair.
Out of context, dude.
Like what?
It could be anything. Like, people get hated on for no
You
fucking
accused
reason.
Holt of map hacking. Like, you were just on Twitter
bashing
like every single
I don't even remember that, but once again...
That's the point! Like,
once again, we're getting off topic here. And let's talk about the game.
Well, I guess where is the real Avillo versus this character?
Yes.
That's the
Alright,
question.
so once again, you guys are getting off topic. You're trying to go after my
that's the
personality.
No, that's the question.
The
problem of Avillo is because we can't tell where...
This is a man who knows...
Wait. One at a time.
Let's talk about the game.
One at a time.
Let's talk about the game,
the thing
guys.
is, everyone is already talking about the game.
Yeah,
this is
we are
the
talking
stranger.
about the game.
Yeah, you have an odd idea that you're the only one talking about.
No, I don't. But what I'm saying is, at some
literally
point,
everybody is and has been for months.
Oh, yeah. they are now. They are now.
They have been talking about it for a very long time. This was the same with Broodlord and Festa. They were talking about that for a very long time as well.
Yeah, and I called that shit out as being imbalanced right when it was.
Yeah, as did many other people, because
So-
they saw it that way. Most pro
how about
gamers, in
this?
fact,
Let's
were
talk
saying just the
about
same
what
thing.
Blizzard could do for Legacy of the Void to
All right.
to make the game better, to make
All right,
StarCraft 2 better as a game.
Nathanias, you want to say something?
Okay, so two things. Everybody's kind of right and wrong, I feel, in a little bit of a way. The first thing is, I don't think you're completely unjustified in your complaints about the game, because everybody has their own issues. Even Flash, whatever, said in an interview, or
Yeah.
like them and like big Korean guys were all whining in their own way. But the thing is, Avalo, you're in a unique position where you play the game a crazy amount, and you have a platform to tell people what you think about it. And the reason why so many people, including Dr. Bane here, has an issue with you is if you want to, as much as I'm a Blizzard shill, blah blah blah, I do WCS, but you have to be able to present your opinions in a way that doesn't draw out anger from other people. So I lose a ladder game, and anyone will tell you that I like went and lost like 3 games versus Protoss on like Deadwing, and I was like, this map's fucking ridiculous. It's the most stupid bullshit ever. And that doesn't, but like if I go and if I talk to Blizzard and they ask me about this patch, like, so what do you think about the change? I'm like, a Protoss is fucking bullshit. They're super retarded, and the mothership core should be removed. And if you don't take it out, you're stupid. Like that. The thing is, when you communicate your thoughts like that, it doesn't. It's the same thing as like if someone messes up your coffee and you're like, you fucking messed up my coffee, you motherfucking idiot, burn in hell. Like they're not going to feel very motivated to make you a new coffee and fix it, right?
That's
agree with
ironically how Day 9
completely
responds
agree.
to people.
I
when
completely
people
agree
fuck
with
up
you,
his coffee.
Nathanias. I completely agree, and
What?
that's been done in the past. Pages upon pages of tactful, just like you're describing. Not. I've even done this on fucking like it's. I post on the Blizzard forums. They used to have a pro forums. I don't know if they do anymore. Where they would actually talk to pro players, grandmasters players. They're all sitting there. Whoever's in there, you get the point that they were talking to pros, and I wrote pages upon pages there. I've done the whole. If that was working, it would have worked already.
Okay,
You
but
sorta
you're
get
suggesting
what I
that what
mean?
you're currently doing is working any better than that? It seems like you resorted really to pandering to a very small demographic of the viewer base that
That's
Hey,
true.
dude,
thinks
I'm
along the same
entertaining,
lines,
man.
who's
I'm
maybe
entertaining.
frustrated
I'm
with
the
that.
toxic outlaw, man. That's
Okay,
that's what I do. I'm the
so you're an
toxic outlaw.
entertainer, so you're not discussing balance, but you want us
Toxic
to discuss
outlaw.
balance at the moment. Like,
No,
which is your priority here?
No,
Is
I
it to
want to
entertain
discuss
or is it to
balance.
discuss
I want to
balance?
discuss the game.
Okay, but you just said that you are an entertainer. You
All right,
you
well,
have
let's stop flip-flopping. All right, so if you want to, like I said,
okay,
let's
stop
discuss
flip-flopping.
what they
Sounds
can
good.
do for
Okay.
Legacy of the Void, the next game, because this is like their last chance here for StarCraft 2. Wouldn't you guys agree? Last chance for StarCraft 2 to really, for them to adjust maybe the design of some things, the balance of some units.
Yeah, last chance to make big changes.
So-
yeah.
So here's the thing: when you're trying to present an opinion like
No,
this,
stop. No, don't go after my individuality. Let's talk about the game, Nathanias.
Okay. If you want to talk about the game, the
What I
most
just said, the
important
balance and what they can do to improve StarCraft 2.
So improving StarCraft 2 is not just about trying to fix a problem, right? Because like any good experiment, changing one thing to solve one problem can oftentimes create problems elsewhere. But I don't think it would be outside. I don't think it would be too crazy to say that over the course of the last 6 months, the patches that Blizzard has made have taken a lot of polling based on what people in the community have been asking about. For example, the Mothership Core Vision was something heavily talked about and suggested. It was patched and no one's complained about it. The Hellbat, very similar. It's already at the point where most Zerg players have learned to be able to deal with it to the point that we don't see it every single game. So I think that the argument that we're being ignored is not as big of an issue, and I would proffer once more that trying to intelligently lay out something that you can get other people behind rather than something that's extravagant, like it's like any good political campaign. If you want to push for a change to be made, you need to get the support of everybody else, which means catering to the in between.
I don't cater to people.
You can't
that.
push. If you push for an extreme, you're gonna get 1% of people siding, and then the whole other 99% of the spectrum is gonna be against you.
And more to the point,
be
the people
fair,
that you will
if
have
that's
following
a-
you in the first place will be the extremists, as we've clearly seen in the chat. Your
No, they won't
fans
be the
sure
extremists.
like the word faggot, Villo, and they're sure like directing it at anyone that's arguing with you, which
Oh,
is
first-
not,
to be fair,
again,
well,
that's
hold
not
on,
particularly
hold on.
constructive,
No, no,
is it?
I never,
Hold on, I gotta jump in.
never promote that. I never promote that ever. I actually tell my viewers to never. As much as you guys have gone after me so far, I always tell my viewers to not do that. Sure, I'll BM after a game, just like anybody would after after playing a game, you're frustrated or whatever. I'll BM my opponent and say, "Wow, they're trash or shit." Like, I never go after anybody personally, ever.
All right,
If I may just offer,
wait, Steven's gonna say first.
To be fair, on behalf of what Nathanias said isn't really true. Blizzard has historically done a really bad job at listening to people in terms of balance and whatnot. And this is evidenced in every single time people are complaining about like different things about the game that need to be changed, including pro players. Blizzard always comes out of left field with like the balance suggestions that they like say like, oh hey, like what about this? And like the suggestions that they always have in those blue posts are things that like nobody was ever really talking about. Like
Amen,
the only
amen.
thing like for instance, like people have been complaining about the Hydralisk for probably 2 or 3 years maybe, and they finally did an upgrade where like they changed the attack speed of the Hydralisk. Like that's like the only thing I can think of. People are complaining about Terran's late game right now, and people have been complaining about Terran's late game forever. If you don't play Raven style, like some people might, Terran late game, especially in the bio division, is very weak.